Okay guys, part 2 of our solving absolute value equations notes. Okay, so I do want to lead off with this and then we're going to go back and review what we just did. We can only split our equation into two pieces when our absolute value is alone on one side. Let me rewrite that. Alone on one side. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. Alright, this is the stuff we did before. We had something like absolute value of x equals 4. We could split that into 2, and that would make x equal 4 or x equals negative 4. Okay, we were able to split that because this was all alone over here. Same with down here. This absolute value was the only thing over here. There's nothing outside of it. Okay, so we were able to split that into x plus 2 equals 5 and x plus 2 equals negative 5. That was all fine. We were good to do that. Okay, moving forward, sometimes we'll get stuff like this. Alright, we have an absolute value and something else. Okay, we can't split our equation into 2 until we isolate the absolute value. Okay, we got to get this all alone. Alright, so we got to get rid of this minus 1. We're going to do that by adding 1 to both sides. We get absolute value of x equals 9. Alright, now we're in much better shape because this is all alone. Alright, so let's go ahead and split that into 2. Split, split. We get x equals 9 and x equals negative 9. Just turning that side negative. Okay? And that's all there is to it. Those are our answers. Alright, we can go ahead and check. Absolute value of 9 minus 1 equals 8. So 8 equals 8. We're good. Alright, and then absolute value of negative 9 minus 1 equals 8. So 8 equals 8, and we are good. Okay? Cool. Moving on. Slightly more difficult example. Okay, we have our absolute value over here, but we have this 2 multiplying it. Alright, we can't do anything with this until we get rid of that 2. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is divide both sides by 2. We're going to get rid of that first coefficient. That leaves us with x plus 3, absolute value, equals 3. Okay, and now we can split. We get x plus 3 equals 3, and x plus 3 equals negative 3. And we can solve from there. Minus 3 from both sides, we get x equals 0 or x equals negative 6. Okay, we can plug those back in and check. 2 times the absolute value 0 plus 3 equals 6. So 2 times 3, that's 6 equals 6. Check, we're good. Alright, next 2 times the absolute value of negative 6 plus 3 equals 6. So 2 times 3 equals 6. We're good. Alright, let's do one more example. This is the most complicated one. This is probably about as complicated as it's going to get. Okay, this is going to be like the hardest thing you might see on an interim assessment or on like a standardized test or something. Okay, so if we can solve stuff like this and deal with fractions pretty well, because we might run into fractions, then we are pretty much set with this stuff. Alright, so let's go ahead and isolate this. As you can see, we got this problem and we got this problem. We got to get rid of our 3 and our negative 4. Okay, so first thing we got to do is get rid of this minus 4. We can't deal with this 3 yet. We don't want to do that. Okay, so we want to get rid of our minus 4. Add 4 to both sides. We get 3 times x minus 1 equals 12. Okay, one more step. We can divide both sides by 3 and we will get x minus 1, absolute value, equals 4. And now we're good to split in half. We get x minus 1 equals 4, x minus 1 equals negative 4. So x is 5, or x is negative 3. Alright, we can go ahead and check. We get 3 times 5 minus 1 minus 4 equals 8. Okay, that's the same as 3 times 4 minus 4 equals 8. So 12 minus 4 is 8. That's good. Next side, 3 times negative 3 minus 1 minus 4 equals 8. So 3 again times 4 minus 4 equals 8, and we're good. Okay, so this is really similar to something we've done before. Alright, I'm going to just write something over here on the side. You guys don't have to. I just want to explain it. Okay. We treat this just like as if we treated this. Okay, when I say solve for y, we have to isolate this y variable. Alright, we got to get y all by itself. Okay, so we do that by first getting rid of this 4. Add 4 to both sides, we get 3y equals 12, and then we divide by 3, we get y equals 4. Okay, so just pretend this y and this absolute value are the same. Treat this like a variable. Okay, this is its own variable to solve for first before we can split it up. Okay, alright, real short video today guys. Thank you. And that's it on solving absolute value equations. We're going to be going over this in depth when I get back on Tuesday. Okay, so just try and walk yourself through this, try and understand these problems so that you can come prepared on Tuesday. Alright, thanks guys. See you soon.